Hello all, it is Saturday, November 11th, and the project manager is doing the video today because the builder has been dealing with a cold this past week and the voice is not working. So you get my voice instead of his. We will be working on wiring again, continuing wiring. We planned on working on the alternator cable. We have to see if we can find the correct connection, though. Our connection that we have in stock is a little bit too small. So that's what we're going to be working on today. We also want to mention that today, 11/11, is Veterans Day, the day that the United States honors all men and women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. This includes my dad, my nephew. We have several uncles. We have several friends. Many relatives and friends that have served in the armed forces, and we just want to take this time to say thank you for your service. We also want to mention Colonel Frank Borman passed away this week, and we were honored to meet him on a couple occasions. The first time was at our local EAA meeting here a few years ago, and he even stopped by the hangar and saw the project back in 2021 and signed our guest book. He was an incredible person. He will be greatly missed by those who knew him. Here we go. Okay, so we are putting our terminal end on the 8-gauge wire. That is our alternator B lead. And then we've got the fire sleeve that we're going to put on there, and the what'd you call it? Oh, the boot. And the field wire, is that what you called it? Mm-hmm. Is also going to go through that sleeve, fire sleeve, and then we'll get things hooked up.
All right, yet again, weren't able to really shoot any of this video of what we did here, just because there's just no space, and the only shot what we could get with video, our hands are in the way, so you don't get any action on that. But just want to show you what we ended up doing here. This is a B lead from the alternator, and then we've got the field wire in there, and also the alternator fail lead is in that. So we sent this through, put this through this fire sleeve, and then, let's see. So we got the fuel hose routed that comes from the spider up on the top down through, and actually saw this on the airplane that we saw down at Rand's. They brought it down, and we did a, boy, you can't see it. If you can see it, I can't really get my hand up in there. but we took there's a 90-degree bracket that has a twist in, a 90-degree twist. We attach that to the oil sump bolt right right there, right above the label, between the intake on the number 3 and the exhaust on the number 3 cylinder. So it's that bolt, and we had to bend that tang a little bit and take a little bit of the twist out of it just to accommodate this. But then we've got this clamp on here, and this is the fuel hose that comes down. We route it down across here, and let's see, down under the oil pan here, and ended up needed to take this loose right here, that right angle, that 90-degree adapter on the outlet of the fuel servo, and you just loosen that, and then you can rotate this fitting here. So we rotated that around and got it so this was fitting good and clearing the throttle cable, and then we tightened that back down. Oh, and you can see we tied the B lead, the alternator B lead that's inside the fire sleeve here. We just used some grip lock ties and tied that together there, and ran that wire. This is the field and alternator fail wires that come up. Routed them up here along with the CHT EGT probe, and just temporarily put these on here. But through the feed into the cockpit, we've got this. So we've got this coiled up here, and actually not planning on using the alternator fail signal from the alternator. I suppose I could. I looked it up, and there's ways you can put it onto the G3X. But also, if the alternator fails, I'm going to drop below 14 volts, so I'll get a warning on that. Should be pretty obvious. And then the other one's a field, alternator field, that will go in to that connector right there eventually. And that's goes to the alternator field switch. So, yeah. Also, where the B lead from the alternator connects to the 60 amp fuse before it goes into the ammeter shunt, which is right, I can't get my hand in there, but just behind it, those brass connectors. We rotated that, we actually loosened that back up, clocked it around just a little bit, and that made it, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. You can't get a camera in here so you can see what we did, but that B lead clears everything. So it's got a really nice clear path under here, through behind these oil hoses, and then it goes into the fire sleeve and then out to the alternator. we're doing the oil cooler hose, scat hose. And when you do this, you cut, there's a, oh, it's kind of hard to see. There's a support wire that goes inside of that hose, that spring, kind of keeps it from collapsing. Where you go to put it on the flange of the oil cooler and the air duct from the engine, you can't clamp it down because that wire's underneath there. You won't ever get that tight enough on there. So you just take and pull back some of this wire, back like 2 turns, and then just snip it off. And then, I'm sorry, you saw it, probably saw me doing it. Where'd that go? There it is. And just snip it, that wire, put a bend in the end of it so it doesn't poke through the hose, and then kind of push it down in the across the other cross couple loops below it. And that way you got this nice soft end here where you can clamp it on. And then I did the same thing on this side. So we'll be able to put this on and just clamp it on right here, and same with the top side. We'll probably have to compress that just a little bit. We'll see how I did with estimating and cutting that hose.
It is a pretty nice day today, actually. A little chilly for some of us, but not snowing, not raining. A little cloudy, but that's okay. We'll take it for the middle of October. No, middle of November.
All right, wrapping things up here for today, and let's see, just quick summary of what we did here. We got this, actually I guess, yeah, we started down here. We got that alternator B lead done, and the field wires, everything's pulled back through here. Got that tied in, and we kind of, this is just temporary. We've got these zip ties on here for this wire, the field wire and fail wire. Going up here, we'll clean this stuff up later. Ended up, let's see, we did the ammeter shunt connector there, and it looks like we're gonna probably need a bigger, we'll put a bigger clamp on here. We just temporarily put this on here, but we'll put a bigger cushion clamp. We'll run that wire into there. We also got the ignition and starter engage wire to bring under that, so that will take that up a size on that cushion clamp there, and then that all comes back around through there, back inside the cockpit. Trimmed up and installed the oil cooler hose. I showed how that went, and just got done, didn't show it, but kind of cleaned up some of the wire bundle that comes from the wings, both the wings. Did some heat shrink tubing on that to clean up. I just put electrical tape on them when we first pulled that stuff through, but just heat shrinked some of that stuff to make it a little nicer. But what else is there? That's it. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope y'all have a good evening, and that's it for now.
It was good.